G'day everybody, welcome back to another video on the channel. So with the AFL season being less than 2 months away now, I think it's about time now where I make a video discussing who I think could possibly have a breakout year in 2022. So I've included a list of 15 players who I believe can have a breakout year. I would of course add a lot more plays if I could, but I want to try and limit the video. I don't want to make it too long, so I've just got 15 plays in this video today. If you're going to enjoy today's video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, that'd be much appreciated. And let's get into the list. So for the very first player of today's video, fellas, by the way, might I mention this is in no particular order at all. I have gone for Ben King. I believe that this guy is a very, very special player. He kicked 47 goals in 2021, and I just feel that, yeah, you could say that's a breakout year, but I still feel that the best is yet to come from him. He's now entering, that 4th year where, usually for a key forward, that is around a breakout year mark, I guess you could say. He seems to have gotten a lot bigger in the off-season as well, put on a lot of muscle, and I still can't believe he did not finish even top 10 in the Gold Coast best and fairest count. Like, the guy was a top goal scorer and a very prolific player in the side, and because of that, I'm sure they'll give him a lot more motivation to play his absolute best in 2022. They've got some really young, exciting talent, Gold Coast, and I feel like Ben is one of those, franchise key forwards that will really be one of their foundation players into a huge rebuild for the Gold Coast Suns. And yeah, I believe that a breakout year is possible for him. Next player I've gone for, and of course I have to go for his brother of Ben King. I've also gone for Max King, the big boy from St Kilda. He was a bit on and off this year. Some games he just wasn't hitting the mark. He met up then with Matty Lloyd to focus on his goal kicking, and he started to perform better in the set shots. But very similar to his brother, he's put on a lot of bulk in the off season. He kicked a high amount of goals last year, 38. And yeah, I still feel the best is yet to come for him as well. He's going to be entering his 3rd year. And I still feel like a breakout year in a 3rd year for a key forward like him is very possible. I feel these two players, Ben and Max King, players that can really rock the competition. And also with a lot of people, I guess including myself, putting St Kilda around that mid-table spot for next year, I could make St Kilda go under the radar, including Max King, and he can really show the competition what he is worth. He's got tremendous athleticism and aerial work and contested marking. I always thought is great. He's got a great mark. He could really go lift off next year. Next player I'm going for is former number 1 pick of Cam Rayner. I know it's kind of hard to justify choosing a player who will have a breakout year when he didn't even play a single game in the 2021 AFL season. But that was because obviously he had a massive knee injury, and now since he's on the med and into pre-season, a lot of people have started to say, hey, this player could really show, what he is worth. He could potentially have a breakout year, and I believe that too. I feel that Cam Rayner is in such a good environment at the moment. He's in a young and exciting Brisbane Lions team who have fallen just so short, or so close of reaching the grand final, and they are seriously, I reckon, going to play some great football next year, and he's going to be motivated as hell. He'll slot into the wing, the midfield, the half-forward line, and I believe he'll be a fantastic player next year. Yeah, it's just up to, if his injuries won't hold him back. Hopefully they don't. But yeah, I feel like he is, almost a perfect player to have a breakout year next year. Next player I've got in my list is Zac Lukosius. I believe that this guy can have a brilliant year next year. The former 2nd overall pick in the 2018 draft has, spent his shares, in the wing, and a bit of time in the midfield, and predominantly across the half-back. But now 𝐼𝐻𝐿 is deciding to move him into a new role, a centre half forward key forward role, and I believe that is a very smart decision. He's played some good football across the half-back, but I believe that this is a really good football player, and him in that new key forward role, adding on a bit of bulk as well, and he's, I think, 196, 7, 4, 5 centimetres around that mark. He can really excel. And I don't feel like he's going to be moving into that role, isolated. He's got Ben King next to him, another exciting young forward, so I feel like the chemistry can start to really work for him. He might, take his time to find his groove, but hey, I'm pretty sure when he was growing up, he played in the forward line, so, he is not heading into unfamiliar territory at all, but it is a huge step, and I believe it is a huge move if he wants to have a breakout year next year, which I believe he sure can. He's of course known for his beautiful ball use, beautiful kicking, and fantastic footy knowledge across halfback. And adding those traits into a centre half forward role, he can really hit the scoreboard and become a way more dominant contested marker as well. So it's an exciting move, and I believe that he can become a breakout year player. Next player on my list, I have gone for Will Hayward, a very exciting key/medium forward for the Swans. He's always been up there as a quite an underrated player in the competition. But last year, I felt that he had such a fantastic year. He started off last year in the VFL side, which was, for Swans fans, a very confusing move. But, the Swans love to throw players into the VFL to gain confidence and gain experience. And when he did come back into the side, he was such a prolific goal scorer for the Swans. I just feel that, he's always been an underrated player in his goal kicking and his marking game. He is a very accurate set shot. I don't know the exact numbers of his set shots, but, whenever I did see him take a set shot, he barely missed. A very accurate kick, and also he is a better mark than you think. He's very strong in the marking contest, and he sure can take a clunk. Similar to other players on this list, he's in a very exciting environment with very young, vibrant Swans players, and also, with a very perfect mixture of young and old. Him being paired up with the likes of Buddy Franklin and possibly Logan McDonald, who will play a lot more footy, I am believing, for the Swans this year. He's almost one of those players that, you kind of forget about with all the exciting youth in the Swans side, and because of that, he can really go under the radar next year. And, with those two important things that I really like about him, his kicking and his accurate kicking and his marking, I feel that he can have a breakout year next year. Next up, I have gone for Caleb Serong, of course, the former Rising Star winner. But the reason why I've put him in is, I'm saying this for every player, but I just feel like he's yet to show what he is truly worth. I feel like the best is yet to come for him. He produced an absolutely fantastic 2021 campaign, also including that goal of the year he did manage to get. Also added in the factors of he's in a really exciting young team with a fantastic playing group with very exciting other young midfielders, a list of motivated staff and very exciting fans. I believe all those factors can click. He will really be able to take his game to the next level in 2022. And it's truly safe to say that he is a heck of a motivated player. He said to the press a few months ago that he really wants to help the team to give them a premiership. So believes that the hunger and talent is there in the playing group. And I still feel, with Chera out and a few exciting players in, he can really take his game to the next level next year. And Caleb Serong will be possibly a top 15, top 10 midfielder next year. Who knows? But I am truly, almost certain that he will have a breakout year next year. Next up, we have gone for Tom Green, excellent midfielder for the GWS Giants. And I still feel that people don't realise how good of a midfielder Tom Green is. Of course, he did come second in the Rising Star Award last year, but I still don't feel that was, truly a huge breakout year for him. That was his second season, now entering his third season with an exciting young list of the Giants. He can become possibly one of the best players in that side. Whenever I did see him play, I was just really astounded of just how, clean he is around the contest. When he gets the ball, he is always very effective with it. There's obviously, a bit of bias from me because, I guess you could say personally know Tom Green. He did go to the same high school as I did. When growing up, he's always been the best player in his footy team. And I feel like that can happen in the AFL too next year for him. With him in his third year now, that obviously means he will be more mature, a lot more stronger, a lot more bulk, and with all those factors, I can't see why he can't be a breakout star next year. So I believe that Tom Green will have a brilliant year next year, and he is on my list. Next up on my list, I have gone for Tarryn Thomas, and alongside him there are plenty of other young guns for that North Melbourne side, but I reckon probably out of all of them, Tarryn Thomas, I feel is probably the biggest potential player. He is 21 years old. He's already played 3 years in the system, And yeah, I believe that he can become, one of those 30 touch, a goal a game kind of players. And they are, those huge X factor kind of players and the most valuable kind of player in an AFL side. From the midfield and forward line, he managed to kick 24 goals in 2021. And I believe he can kick 30 next year. I can't see why not. He's in a North Melbourne side with a lot of exciting young talent that can really help him lift. And now he is entering that 4th year, which, is an area where you can hit your breakout stride. Also with having the coach of John Noble, who is extremely motivated of building the youth in the North Melbourne side, he can truly become one of those franchise gun midfielders. And yeah, I believe, out of 𝐓𝐡𝐞 and 𝐼𝙗𝐪 and 𝐼𝐷𝐿𝐼, he is probably the most special player, Tarryn Thomas. And I believe next year will be a breakout year for him. Next player I've gone for is a player that you wouldn't really think of in terms of a breakout year, but I really wanted to put him in as a personal selection, and that is Schoenberg from the Adelaide Football Club. I really rated this guy in 2021. He managed to play every single game for the Crows his second year, I believe. Yeah, his second year. And, you might think, well, obviously that's because he's playing, not one of the best playing groups in the AFL. They're a bottom 2, bottom 3 kind of side. But I still feel that he is one of the most special players in that team. When I did watch him play, he just always seemed to be around the pill as much as possible. He was getting, high disposals for a second year player and kicking, hitting the scoreboard here and there. And he was just one of those players that kept on getting better game by game. And now, since he's played every single game of the 2021 season, that just adds so much more experience and football knowledge and confidence for him. And I believe that those factors that drives him into a very strong pre-season. And now, since he's entering his 3rd year, if he keeps injury free, I can't see why not. He'll play every single game again for the Crows. And if he were to play every single game, I feel that he will have a fantastic year. I don't expect him to be, an All-Australian shortlist kind of player, but next year I really think that he will show that he is a serious player that has a very bright future. So Schoenberg is on my list. Next player I've gone for in my list is another player that is far from the most anticipated, most expected player, and I've gone for Hayden Young from the Fremantle Dockers. Another Freo player, but I still remember watching this guy's draft profile when he first got drafted in 2019, I am pretty sure. And the first thing that sparked me is this, just game sense and kicking. And I believe that last year when he did play, he was starting to show that in the side. There's of course lots of question marks for my decision to put him in the list. He has not played much football. He only played 5 games in 2020 and 8 games in 2021. But when he did play last year, I just thought that he is a player that can become a established halfback flanker. He really did catch my eye in that win over Richmond. He managed to pick up a NAB Rising Star award. That game, he was very clean with the football and his decision making. Kicking was sharp, and I think he collected, over 20 touches as well. I just feel that, next year he can really play a lot more game time and show the Freo fans in the AFL that, he is a very established football player. And again, I don't feel that he will be, a player that will reach the 40-man All-Australian squad. But seriously, who knows? I still feel that he will play a lot more football next year, and he can show Freo that, he is potentially the number 1 guy as their halfback flanker. Next player on my list I've gone for is from the Hawks, and I've chosen Will Day. I think that, he's heading into a season now with all other Hawks players that they have very low expectations, and they're most likely to become wooden spooners, and also with a new coach. But I feel like he is a very bright player in their side, and I'm in a situation where he's got nothing to lose but to play his best football possible. He's a very exciting halfback flanker, and he is only 20 years old, so he might not play every game next year, but when he does play, he can really just brighten up the Hawks and potentially the competition. Who knows? He's got a really good footy brain. He's got fantastic composure and skills. When I've watched him play, I really like his composure and his reading the play across the half-back line, matched with his, good AFL level ball skills that will of course, improve over time. And hey, with the new coach of Sam Mitchell, he could potentially, just throw in the youth and play this guy as much as possible. And if that happens, he can, with a big preseason he has most likely had, just, really show that, hey, this is a bright, exciting player for the Hawks. And I believe that because of that, he can have a breakout year next year. So, let's hope Will Day does that. Next player I've gone for is Trent Rivers, a premiership player in his second year, and he had a second year, an AFL's dream year, managing to play every single game for the Demons and also win a premiership. It became an absolute delight in Simon Goodwin's side, managing, as just said before, to play every single game for the Demons across the half-back line. And also, it was just pretty much that rotational kind of player. But when he did play, he looked like a very exciting young player. He's only 20 as well. And he also showed some really impressive statistics throughout 2021. He finished top 5 of the club for rebound 50s, intercept possessions, intercept marks, and 1%ers. And hey, showing that at 20 years old in a premiership side, he is in such a perfect place. And he's got really huge potential. And I'm bound to be sure he'll start round 1. And hey, similar to Schoenberg, if he can play every single game again next year, he will have a brilliant year. And I just feel like these are all signs pointing to a breakout year. So also including his very good pace, ball skills, physicality, one-on-one contests, I think he's very good at too. He can have, I reckon, a breakout year next year. Next player I'm going for is Tommy McCartin, another player from the Swans, but as a Swans fan, I just feel that these two players are heavily underrated and they can truly have a breakout year next year. And Tommy McCartin is one of the most exciting young key backs in the competition. He really hit a stride in the second half of the season last year. He was progressively, getting better every game. A game that really still catches my eye is the round 16 performance against the Western Bulldogs. It was a game where the Doggies just kept on booting it inside 50 and Tommy McCartin was just there to clean up. He's a player that really reminds me of 𝐓𝐡𝐞 𝐎𝐥𝐵, obviously an ex-Swans player who was just, a player that just simply plays on his man. He plays simple footy. He doesn't, overthink everything. He's, he's getting a lot more stronger now in the contest, and he's got a very reliable set of ball skills with his distribution when exiting out of the back 50 with his ball skills. And hey, only at 22, Tom McCartin has truly become the Swans' #1 key back pretty much. So, there will be a bit of high expectations for him, that's for sure. But I still feel that, he is truly on the up, and a breakout year is definitely on the cards for him in 2022. Next player I am choosing is Zac Butters. He's going to be entering his 4th year in the AFL now. And you could say that he probably already maybe has had his breakout year, I guess. But I still feel that he is yet to hit his max potential. And now he is entering his 4th year. He's now gained a lot of experience from falling just short in prelim finals. And that's just, the best kind of experience you can gain in a very good side. Falling just short of a grand final, that adds motivation. And I still feel that he is a very special player too. He's been on and off with injuries, but if he can keep injury free next year, I reckon that he can have a breakout year. There's still thoughts of me that he is, just as good, if not better than Bailey Smith, because, obviously Baslenka has breaking out of the competition a lot more earlier than he has, and Zac Butters has, been, up there, but the injuries have caught up with him. But I just feel that he is a very special player, man. He was, in that 2020 finals campaign, I just feel that he was a very exciting player. He had such a good finals campaign that year. 2021, he came back, and then unfortunately he did get injured. But for me, when I watch him play, I just love his classy game style. He's got silky smooth ball skills, he's tough at the footy as well, and he's already a huge fan favourite at Port Adelaide as well. And if he can keep injury free, him being chucked into the forward line, half forward line around that area, he can become an absolute revelation for Port next year. And I still feel the best is yet to come for Zac Butters, and next year, his 4th year, could be the year. Now for my final player on today's list, and I am going for Harry Petty from the Melbourne Demons. Very similar to Trent Rivers, he's another up-and-coming young gun who played a lot of game time last year for the Demons and another player in the premiership side. And hey, that grand final I reckon has boosted his stock so much, and that's really made me think he could be, a starting key player for the Demons. He truly can. His grand final performance was just very good. A very physical player who can take a very good mark. He's got great ball skills too. And with also him being paired up with the likes of Steven May, Jake Lever, Salem, and also possibly Trent Rivers, he can become an absolute cornerstone of a player that could be, one of the best key backs in the up and coming years for, who knows, the next 5 to 10 years. He's entering his 4th year at the club and he is 22 at the moment, and he is in such a good environment, learning as much as he can off the players like, Steven May and Jake Lever, all Australian calibre players. And for me, with all those things combined, I reckon he can go and lift off next year and possibly become, one of the most exciting young key backs in the competition and the starting key back alongside Steven May in Simon Goodwin's side. Okay everyone, so there is my list of AFL players who I think could have a breakout year in 2022. Of course, there are a lot more AFL players than just these 15 I have in my video today that are very capable of having a breakout year and are on the same tier of these players. But yeah, as said earlier, I just wanted to, keep the video at a certain length. And feel free to comment, fellas, of who I missed out. I'm bound to be sure that I'll agree near most 100%. There are plenty of players who have that capability. So if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. That would be much appreciated. And I'll talk to you later, fellas. See you later.